Hi, I'm Mike. Rarely does anything go as planned on the ranch, and today is really no exception, as we start out going in one direction and end up going in another. This is the project list, a weird animal, and today we try to rein it in on our Wyoming Life. The project list has been growing here over the last week or so, you can tell. As fall moves in, we start to realize how much really needs done around here, and this board actually helps us keep track of what needs done and what has already been done. Now, a lot of people ask me why I just don't erase things off the board when we complete them, and I'll tell you why. It's because when something is gone, sometimes it's forgotten. When I do something well or even outstanding, I don't get a Christmas bonus, I don't get my birthday off, and Labor Day, well, that's just another day to labor. So when I look at this board and I see things crossed off, I get a feeling of accomplishment. And I can tell you that 9 out of 10 things that are done around here, they don't even make it to the board. One of my dad's biggest rules was that you never put off anything that'll take less than 5 minutes to do. If you drive by a piece of fence that needs fixed and you have the stuff to do it, then just do it. If a piece of trash is blowing across the pasture, go and grab it. Don't say to yourself that you'll get to it next time you come out, because you won't. And in Wyoming wind, it'll be in Nebraska by the time you remember it. But there are projects that you know are going to take a few hours or even a few days, and those are the ones that have a much better chance of making it to the project list. Those projects sometimes take planning and even take a bunch of work before you can even tackle the real project. Today we're going to get started on a project that I've had in the works for a while, and that is replacing some panels that I have up over by the chicken house with a real fence made out of metal pipe that we have left over from when the methane production on the ranch shut down about 5 years ago. The metal fence will make up a portion of the corral, and we've been cutting pipe and getting that portion ready but what we really need working for this whole thing to happen is my portable welder, but it's not running at the moment. Nice thing is that I know exactly what the issue is, and we can get it fixed today. The idle solenoid is what controls the engine idle on this welder generator combo. When it's just sitting there running, it's at idle. Whenever you start to weld with it, the solenoid kicks in and idles up the engine, giving you the power you need from the generator to weld away. This solenoid, it's not working. It doesn't move when you go to weld, and therefore you don't get the power that you need. That makes building a fence out of pipe that you're going to have to weld a big problem. Now, I do have a welder in the shop, but that one requires 220 volts. It's a corded unit, and it's not going to work out where there's no power. So all we have to do is remove the old solenoid and head to town and get a new one, and we'll be back in business. Gillette, the closest town to us, is a good place to grab parts like this. It's not an agricultural town. In fact, we have to drive almost 100 miles just to get to our nearest John Deere dealer, but it is an industrial town. Lots of energy production keeps manufacturing and repair places in business, and in turn brings businesses that supply products to keep doing that. American Welding and Gas is just such a place, and a Miller welder dealer, which happens to be the manufacturer of our welder. So as we head on in to get our part we need, hopefully we can get back to work. So that kind of backfired on me. They did not have it in stock, so $240 some later and waiting a week for a part kind of puts us in a bit of not really a bind, but we do have to change our game plan. So trying to figure out what we should go do. Let's I don't know, let's head back out to the ranch and regroup. All right, so on my way home, I got to thinking this project, it's not gonna work without a portable welder, but I still have welding on my mind. Of course, we still have the list, I guess. We can take a look at that. And one project that I know is on here, if I can find it somewhere on there. There it is right there, garden sink on wheels. I think we can tackle that one today, and it'll make somebody I know very happy. Erin's been using this sink for the past few years as her veggie washing station. After she picks from the garden, it's into the shop where she can wash them up for sale. Most recently in the farm store, located right here on the ranch. With the move from farmer's market to the farm store, the sink is always here, always set up and put to work daily as Erin picks and washes fresh each day for the farm store. Now that's good. Fresh veggies are always good. But the bad is that the sink, well, it's always here and it's always in the way. Erin will tell you the same thing. Don't think I'm picking on her. For the past few years, she's wanted me to put the sink on wheels so that she can move it around easier, pushing it up against the wall when it's not in use and being able to bring it out when she needs it. Right now, that's a pain to do by yourself. You have to drag it along and it's not really made to do that, and you could break off a leg. Don't ask me how I know that. We're not strangers to building carts. In fact, the welder itself is on a cart I built a few years ago. It's heavy and it's awkward and it needs some work, but for now, it'll work for what we need it for. We also have casters to use for the wheels and some angle iron to make into a small frame for the base for the wheels to attach to. This really isn't that big of a project. It should only take about an hour or so, but when I find myself frustrated by something that's not working right, or parts that aren't available that should be, or even when I have plans to do one thing, something that I've been planning in my mind from the moment I got up until I found out that I couldn't do it, well, that kind of stuff will put my day on a downward spiral if I let it get to me. I'll take it out on those around me. I can be cranky, I can even be snippy. So I found that when I'm having days like this, I like to do something for somebody else, something that really doesn't benefit me, but in a way it does, because it makes me feel better about having a super craptastic day. Trust me, it drives Erin nuts, because I'll have a bad day or somebody will say something that just gets underneath my skin and I'll go find something to do that makes no sense at all. But for somebody else, it could be that thing that they've needed done that they couldn't do for themselves. Yeah, it's self-serving, but it gets my mind off of crap that gets to all of us. And before you know it, you've done something good for someone. And that could make a big difference in their lives.
Oh, it's taller.
A little bit taller. That kind of couldn't be avoided.
Could do a choreographed dance. Cool, thank you. Now I need drying racks. But I got a million vegetables.
And there's the next one for the list, drying racks, which I'll put right here. I knew how to spell drying. Drying. Oh, is there a Y in there? Drying racks, and we'll cross off garden sink on wheels. Not every day goes the way we expect. In fact, if plan A doesn't work, the alphabet has 25 more letters, so no reason to get worked up about it. As long as we are kicking, we can get it done. And if it takes less than 5 minutes, we can get it done right now. Thanks for coming along. Erin's still probably dancing with her sink. Eventually she'll get bored with that and we'll all get back to work. I might even find something else to do today. In fact, I do have a brand new engine for the Gator sitting right over there waiting for a little TLC. But that's next time on the project list. Right now, it's back to the ranch. Catch up with us for our weekly roundup on Thursday, our weekly live stream, and of course be sure to subscribe. It's the only way that you can get notifications when new videos come out. All you have to do is hit that little bell button. And if you are in agriculture or just want to be, head on over to Facebook and search for our Facebook group called All Things Agriculture, where we have almost 2,000 farmers and ranchers just like you. And if you have a question, you need advice, or you're just looking for a friendly face, head on over, become a member, and become a part of a great community. That's it for me. Until Thursday, have a great week, and thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.